What I love about what I do is it's about shaping the future. What are we doing in this generation to help future generations have a good and prosperous lifestyle? I'm Chris Johnson, I'm CEO of the Urban Taskforce. Urban renewal is really about the opposite, I guess, of greenfield. It's about taking existing built areas, communities, whatever, and generally lifting up the density and heights and changing that whole area.
My name's Brendan Bateman. I'm a partner in the Environment and Planning Group here in Sydney at Clayton Utes. Some of the issues that are associated with planning law for urban renewal include matters associated with the adequacy of the existing planning regime. So whereas previously the planning law was about segregating land uses and ensuring that uses were kept well and truly apart and didn't conflict with one another, now we're getting to an environment where urban renewal actually requires a lot of those uses to come together and to work together. So we're looking at integration of uses, and that involves a lot of things around strategic planning. So it actually elevates the discussion and the debate about planning to a strategic level. And it's from the strategic level that you then need to make it work on the ground, and to do that effectively, you need to make sure that the relevant planning instruments are working with the overarching strategy.
Well, clearly the biggest issue with urban renewal is going to be transport. Sydney is already a low-density city spreading out from the CBD, meaning people to get to work have to drive in most cases. This is an enormous amount of time that's taken for people to commute across the whole city. One of the advantages of infill and urban renewal is that we can take older areas that are lower density, that could be much higher density, and get this to work. But what we've got to do is make sure we get those transport issues properly resolved.
It's essential that you get the planning element of a major project right at the start, because if you don't, there's a real risk associated with the project not getting approved, or alternatively, even if it is approved, ultimately not proceeding because of some deficiencies in the process which enable that approval to be challenged. So from that point of view, where you've invested a lot of your own effort and time into a project, and indeed in some cases financiers' money into a project, it's essential that you make sure that that approval is bankable, and to do that you need to invest the time and effort to ensure that you fully understand the planning issues and considerations to minimise the risk going forward that the project won't be able to proceed.
Urban renewal is a very complex area. It's not just a matter of drawing a line on a bit of paper and adding water and it all happens. As I said, there are tensions with existing communities and new communities. There are tensions with existing transport systems and future transport systems. So it's managing this tension, this conflict potentially, between the different parties is quite critical. This is where it's vital to get the proper legal advice, to get the proper advice from a whole series of experts on how to work your way through this. A small slip up at the wrong time can really put a whole project backwards. So understanding what is the framework of the law, what are the parameters that you can work within, but importantly communicating this in a way that broader communities can understand is critical.
But it's much broader than that in my view. In order for a number of these projects to get up, there needs to be a much broader level of engagement, and that starts at the strategic planning stage, about engaging them and also consulting about what their needs are and how you can satisfy those needs through this project. So the community engagement from a lawyer's point of view is ensuring that the information that's being provided, one, is accurate, and two, reflects the community's view and is incorporated then in the successive documents.
Cities evolve and develop through innovation, through vision, through amazing ideas that can get things to happen. Planning laws are enablers of how the future can be handled.